What's good, my people? Hand clap to the massives out and large, all over the place, all over the world, guys. Big yourself one time, of course. Thanks for tuning in to yet another reaction, guys. Round of applause goes out to each and every one of you guys who tuned in to yet another reaction vibrations right there, yo. But yeah, guys, definitely don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notifications. This is where I tend to react to a number of videos across the Caribbean, Dominica included, and of course the world by extension relating to the Caribbean. Of course, with that said, guys, definitely give this video a thumbs up if you want to catch more vibrations. Pushing the videos to other people as well, giving a thumbs up would also help in this regard right there. Anyways, guys, this is what the Prime Minister had to say. Of course, he definitely had to come out on DBS. Of course, I don't think it was a normal thing that he would have done, but because of the horrible job that the individuals did when they were, well, not all the individuals, especially, I think most specifically, the lawyer, what's his name again? The Lawrence guy? Lawrence, yes. I think that's him. I was listening to some of the stuff, and brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. You know, sometimes you reach a time when you're listening to individuals who are educated, and you're listening to them, and when you keep going over and over and over, every time you become more confused than you were previously confused initially when listening to these individuals. Guys, I tried to listen to the guy to understand what on earth he was saying, and I just couldn't fathom. And when I actually went on social media, I saw a set of individuals, so I thought it was me only trying to clarify, and then I saw some individuals actually saying that they themselves were confused, but the Prime Minister had to come and clarify certain things because some of these guys clearly did a terrible job, a horrible job right there and then. But we're gonna listen to the Prime Minister kind of clarify certain things, and also I will clarify some things as well based on what the Prime Minister was saying on DBS. We must make be mindful of these things. Anyways, it's gonna be a bit thing, so hopefully you can get it in less than 20 minutes.
We are now at 179 positive PCR cases in Dominica also.
So there are 179 cases that move up from 148, I think. Yes, it is not 218. A lot of people are saying these things, and people are explaining to people, no, it's not this has not been updated. But people are still saying, hey, yes, it is 218. Stop your dirty ways. When they are the ones with the dirty ways. But it is what it is, guys. Let's continue.
So 179 cases as of Sunday, the 8th of August 2001.
That was yesterday.
The testing continues. We've been having aggressive testing taking place. And yesterday we did 664.
664.
I think today we might have the 700 mark.
So I guess it's in total, not 600 the day before and now 700. That'll be like 1300 in total. So I guess it's in elevation of the amount of people that are doing testing.
So people are coming out, and the good thing also is that we have some medical doctors and contact tracing teams and people who are tested who are intrinsically motivated.
So you should pay them. That is what you should do. They are motivated, yes, but motivate them more for them to continuously do these things before they burn out and they really do get nothing in addition to this. So you should pay them, man.
You know, they
take somebody $64,000 a month, man. Come on, man.
You know, they're committed, they're dedicated.
Is there any stimulus for nurses after all that hard work?
Good question. Great question right there, Curtis. Great question right there.
I can tell you.
You should just say yes. Yes, there will be. Yes.
The simple answer to this.
The brother had to go anyways.
Yes, but those who yes, but
the simple answer is what?
The simple answer to this is yes, but
yes. So now we know the Prime Minister like to say a lot of promises that don't seem to come to fruition. So we have it on record, okay, guys? We have it on record. He says yes. I know there are a few nurses that are connected to me that are also working in these establishments as well as doctors and so forth. So we'll see. I will let you guys know. I will let you guys know if they really get that stimulus that the Prime Minister is talking about there.
So in the fight against COVID,
oh my God. Anyways.
These people are exceptional people. Exceptional people.
Yes, we know they're exceptional. So pay them for the exceptionality.
The people in the front line, the nurses, the warders, the people who are taking care of patients, who volunteered and who decided to leave their children home and their families and their husbands husbands and their wives home.
Why is he saying all this, man? I mean, yeah, we know they are working. They obviously have to leave their wives and they're not wives, their wife or husband and children. Same thing when anybody else is going to work. Whether you work in construction, you leave your wife, your children, you live in Dominica is mainly women. Well, there are some women that work in construction, so they tend to leave their family members behind as well.
You know, the doctors, you know, the district medical doctors and district medical teams.
Remember in Maho, the nurse was complaining. The nurse was complaining about being overworked. So maybe you should also try to bring a second nurse inside there to help this one. Because this one was being overworked. So much to the point that she rejected people out coming in. Well, one individual I know who came in and was trying to seek help. So maybe you should also try to, you know, just a little advice, man. Nothing too much.
That's a wonderful thing. And this country is blessed to have these conscientious people. And the least you can do is to reciprocate.
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
By staying home, going out to get tested. You know, so all of us who want stimulus package for nurses and doctors and so on, and sometimes people resist things not to create some kind of problem and so on. Go and get that's a stimulus should give you.
Boy, that's scary is you do. Scary checking. You want them to get stimulus? Well, go and get the injection. That's the stimulus you can't get them.
Go and get it and go get tested. And leave the rest to scary to deal with. I'm stimulus package with Mr. Concern. But we take care of this situation now, and certainly after this battle is over. So
hopefully they do get their stimulus packages, nurses and doctors and the wardens and all these people that you're talking about there in the front line assembly against this whole injection situation. So hopefully they do get their stimulus. Anyways, guys, I also mentioned this thing right there. This thing, guys, back on that was 2 days ago. A lot of people were sharing this stuff. This thing and this thing. We have to use our brain. Recovered new infections versus the total. Obviously, this would be wrong. Anyways, a number of persons, and I can understand why a number of persons were saying this thing right there, because they said scary say another thing, and that contradicts that thing right there. So a lot of people are like, well, this is correct instead of scary, and I don't really blame the people, even though the people were wrong for sharing this thing as if that is. I don't blame the people, because certain things that the Prime Minister says, people can't really trust it. Let's be frank about it, brothers and sisters. I'm not the only one. Let's be frank about it. A lot of things that the Prime Minister is saying, people can't really trust it in this regard. So they have to resort to other things that they see and think. But in this regard, guys, in this regard, the Prime Minister was actually right when it comes down to the cases. 179. Somebody told me it went up to 180. But I will stick with what the officials saying. 179, okay? And there's 179 in addition to this 218 thing right there. So it's going to be 300 and something. 300 and something. Anyways, let's continue.
So that when they get numbers from people from different sources and they say, well, okay, well, today we had 40 or 25 and scary and they're not giving the correct. This is not the case. There's nothing to hide about this. We have been transparent.
That is debatable about transparency, because we still don't know where the 1.2 and the 1.2, 2.3, so 4.4 I think, or 3.4, one of them. We still don't know where the billions of dollars is. So when you talk about transparency, we have to be very mindful of that.
And whatever the numbers are, then we will say so to the public.
Okay, and we hope that you continue giving the right numbers for the public. But please not be transparent in one situation. Be transparent across the board now, so that people wouldn't distrust you. People wouldn't have some sense of mistrust against the things that you are saying.
What about capacity in Dominica? Do we have the capacity to deal with this number of cases that you are saying?
You're talking about rooms.
Rooms at Portsmouth and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, we increased in the...
I kind of felt like Curtis knew the answer to this, but he just decided to ask the question so that others can...
The bed capacity, as of tonight, we're fine. But tomorrow we'll be fine as well. We have... what we have done, Curtis, is that we have separated the symptomatic patients from the asymptomatic patients.
That's good. Before I continue, guys, this is actually in the gymnasium. I actually went down by the gymnasium some time back, and I show you guys how the gymnasium was looking. I think it was on Instagram. By the way, guys, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. Just type in Mystelics_BrBpTV and you will definitely find me. Some of the things that I tend to post up there, I don't post up on YouTube. So definitely go and follow me there, and you'll definitely get the vibrations for which I tend to do. But I put up a picture back in the day of the gymnasium, and there was like, you swear it's Jurassic Park that was over there. The gates and everything was covered with vines. Vines alone. I know Centipede probably was having fun inside there. Amusement park for Centipede. And worms and all kind of thing. But there was vines covering the building, brothers and sisters. They would literally climb in. Vines, you know. Bush! Climb in the building and trying to gobble it up and take it over. I don't know if it's a scene in a scary movie or something, but that was definitely. But they decided, hey, we lose Ross. We'd have Ross again. So let us turn the gymnasium, the former gymnasium. I used to go inside there and do some gymming as well. And go inside there and do some and put beds and stuff inside there. So hey, they have to make use of what they let go.
So we have dedicated the St. James COVID Center exclusively to symptomatic patients.
The St. James Center was where I used to work back in the day when in Ross University. And now I guess it's a Rona center.
Patients with symptoms, so you know, and then we have created, we have taken over some apartments in Portsmouth, and where we have.
So it's not just bubbles them that get in some fun. That's good. I guess that's good.
Asymptomatic patients with no.
But I really do think that's a good thing. Separate them. The symptomatic patients, which is not much, and the asymptomatic patients. Separate them. Why would you put them together? On the basis of them putting them together, would it make sense though? Because I mean, because they have it, it's not like they don't have it. The asymptomatic people have it. The people with no symptoms, they have it. But I think I still think that is a good idea right there. They separated the symptomatic and the asymptomatic. I think that's a good idea, but I don't think it really matters to the point, because both of them have it. It's just that different bodies respond to different ways and different things to in different ways. So they all have 100% have the Rona, and only about 5 of them are symptomatic. All of them have the Rona, you know, it's just 5 that symptomatic, have symptoms or showing symptoms. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think it makes sense? I think it's okay. I think it's a good idea. But anyways, let's continue.
No symptoms. And between these 2 facilities so far, we have over 103 rooms, and they could accommodate about 120 people, depending on the family size. We have also commanded a new facility. We have basically created another hospital. If you see this, you believe that this is a hospital in some developed countries. And this building has 3 floors. And I've been advised today that yesterday we could have accommodated 40 people per floor. I've been told today that we can accommodate 60 people per floor. So there's 3 floors where we can have 60 beds.
So doesn't that mean that the space has become more cramped, so to speak? I'm not saying that you know, people can't really, because when I'm looking at this thing, it kind of looks like a camp. This thing right there. So individuals just lie down on a bed, you know, I guess they get to go outside, and I guess you can get to make friends and stuff there as well. But if that is the case, that is what they're doing. People don't really have that's an interesting thing, eh? That's very interesting right there. Anyways, let's continue, guys.
On the family side, we have also commanded a new facility. We have basically created another hospital. If you see this, yesterday we could have accommodate 60 people on each floor. 60 times 10 times 3, that's 180 rooms and so forth. And we continue to make additional space available so that as the capacity, as the number increases, at least we try to be ahead of the numbers.
Okay. Anyways, let's continue.
Speak to these people who are very concerned today.
Well, Curtis, the statistics that we're saying thus far, and of course it will require more detailed analysis. But what we're saying today with the raw data that we have, it shows that 90% of the people who are infected.
No, guys, let me help you understand something. The reason why the Prime Minister is constantly saying this is because he knows that human beings are creatures of repetition. So when he constantly says this over and over and over, given the plethora of audience that he has, sooner or later people gradually become acceptable to that fact. But that is not the case right there. Although his numbers are correct based off the thing, his numbers is correct, but his analysis of it saying that, oh, because 90% are not vaxxed and 10% are vaxxed, then on the total of the 400 and something, or probably 600 and something individuals, well, 179 right now, that doesn't mean anything. The analysis that you're giving, it doesn't mean anything. Like I stated before, if you have 100 cases and 5 of these individuals have the Rona, and out of the 100 cases only 20 have it, and then you say 15 out of the 100 are not vaxxed and 5 out of the 100 are vaxxed, that means 100% of the vaxxed individuals have it, even though it's smaller than the not vaxxed. So you have to think when it comes down to the data, even if it is 75% within the sphere I just gave, 75% versus 15% doesn't mean that the non-vaxxed, doesn't mean that the vax is working, because the full amount of individuals that are vaxxed get it. That's why in analysis you have to also understand the actual data in itself. It's not just the results of it. You have to understand the data, the group that you are doing this data on. You like to say that,
right? And close to 100 who are symptomatic.
I posted this because this is one of the individuals who sent me the message saying that they took the injection, but they also experienced all of the symptoms related to the Rona. They're literally experiencing all. The person wants to remain anonymous, so I'm putting this out there. So yes, even if you have the injection, you can still get it, feel all the symptoms which makes you sick, and you still get hospitalized because this individual hey, but people are easy, boy. Anyways, let me continue.
I have said publicly, I am fully vaccinated.
Well, that is debatable. You say this, you have said a lot of things that people have seen and can't really agree with. So even if you're saying this, we still cannot say yes, it's true. Plus, who knows what was in the syringe when you got your injection? Who knows? Nobody really knows.
And I took a decision some time ago to get tested every 14 days.
It's rather interesting that you decide to get tested every 14 days. I think he brought it down to 7 days, guys. And he says he's getting tested every 7 days. And he's going to get tested, I think, probably on Wednesday or tomorrow. He's going to be tested again. But if you're taking an injection, the Rona solution, so to speak, and it doesn't provide any sort of immunity for you, it's not... Let's look into the definition right there. Brothers and sisters, take a listen.
A product that...
This is what this is. This is, you looking at, those of you listening and watching the video, watch the video now. This is what that we are defining right now. A product that stimulates, continue sister.
That stimulates a person's
immune system to produce
immunity to a specific disease. Protecting the person from that
the disease. That is that thing right there. The V thing that you see in there.
Immunity. Protection from an infectious disease. If you are immune to a disease...
Listen to that, brothers and sisters. Let's go back.
If you are immune to a disease, you can be exposed to it without becoming infected.
You can be what?
You can be exposed to it without becoming infected.
So, it is very clear. This is CDC's definition of what immunity is. This is CDC's of the V. This is CDC of that is the definition of it. Same thing as WHO, same thing as FDA. Pretty much along the same lines, brothers and sisters, which means the thing that they're injecting into you is not this thing. A product that stimulates a person's immune system to do what? Produce immunity to a specific disease. Protecting that person from that disease. Immunity, of course, is protection from an infection disease. Even if you are exposed to it, you will not become infected.
End of quote. Clearly, the legal definition of a vaccine shows that it protects you from becoming infected with the disease, not protect you from serious illness, death, hospitalization. It must protect you from infection with the disease against which you've been vaccinated.
I got tested.
So this is why the question a lot of people are asking, if you get in this vax stuff, why then do you have to be tested constantly unless it doesn't work? So if it doesn't work constantly, then you have to be doing testing. On the other hand, asking the question as to if individuals themselves have to be doing testing every 7 days, which means a set of money people have to spend to go and do testing every 7 days, brothers. You have the whole country paying for you to go and do your testing, you know. And on the fact that you're saying that you have to do testing every, let's continue.
I believe this week, right? Last week we went there also Thursday. I have decided, look, I'm taking this down to 7 days. So every 7 days I'm going to get tested. I'm getting tested tomorrow morning at 6:15. It's what I'm saying. So every 7 days I'm going to get tested.
So it's to this morning you went to get it?
Because I interact with a lot of people. You know, I go across the country, you know, so I am at risk.
So he said he's at risk. But a while ago we just heard what the vax is, and we also heard what immunity is. So if that is the case, then why you do constantly doing testing and then telling people to take that which cannot protect them in the first place because it does not give them immunity? And very by definition in itself, it is interesting. Why are you telling people to take that stuff? Who knows, if you take it yourself, you probably take a placebo, and then you have to constantly be doing testing and telling people to take it while you haven't gotten it. I don't know, it's a possibility. We watch plenty movies, you know, to know these kind of things tend to take place, man.
Let's go on and take it. These are mandatory, and all this talk about mandatory. I'm not thinking about mandatory vaccination.
Oh crap, I put the name again. Oh my God. But I have to give a round of applause for that. That is the right track right there. Not making it mandatory. You don't believe in that stuff. You shouldn't. Because it's kind of foolish for you to put something that is experimental on people and make it mandatory. This is why I don't understand what is going on in the world today. And the guy from Alberta just won his thing. He didn't have no lawyer representing him, you know. And they had to open up Canada, Alberta and Canada. They had to open it up. They're rolling out, opening up the place. Some of the doctors are not happy about it. Some of the doctors are happy about it. So different viewpoints on it. But they couldn't. Man, just listen. And a friend of mine actually just sent me the legal documents of Alberta right there. I might put it in a vlog or in a reaction. One of them. Anyways, let's continue.
Though we have clear legal advice that the Constitution allows for this to happen.
No, the Constitution does not allow this to happen. When the Constitution allows you to put experimental things inside people's body and make it mandatory, it nowhere allows this to happen. Anyways, let's continue.
This is a democracy. You want to take it, up to you. If you want to take it, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, we have an obligation. So what is our obligation to people? To people who we lead, in our organization, in our churches, in our business community, in politics.
The political one is what he wanted to get at. I remember when Lennox, he asked Lennox if he's injected. Lennox, well, he didn't say injected, but Lennox said yes, but he didn't say in what is his thing. And the Prime Minister decided to use this to take a shot at Lennox. It is none of your business what people put inside their bodies. How is it? According to HIPAA, you guys can check out HIPAA, the definition. This is not for public. Your health care, whatever is happening inside your body, your health care is not for people's. It's not people's business. This is what you are protected from showing your things to individuals that not supposed to know. Especially in situations like this, not their business for you to know. You're asking people. And one of the governors actually said this on when he was asked that question. He said it's not your business, but then he says he has not been thing, and then he gave his explanation to why, which is what people tend to do. This is what I'm doing right now, telling people, hey, this thing is experimental. Be mindful.
In civil society, what are we saying to our constituents?
He is trying to attack Lennox there when it comes on to that situation, but it's not your business. That is what it is right there. It is.
Now we're telling people.
This is something I want you guys to pretty much take a look at. This is for both individuals. And guys, ask yourself these questions. Can both spread this? Can both contract this? Can both be hospital? Can both of these things happen? If that is the case, guys, what you are injecting into your body is not a vax, brothers and sisters. It's not. So whatever they tell you to inject inside you is not it, brothers and sisters. You can go for this thing and ask yourself if both parties can actually get this. And then ask yourself, why should you get it if this thing doesn't do nothing for you in the first place? Why then injecting stuff in your body? Maybe there's an alternative purpose of doing these things.
I believe that the leadership of this organization.
Let us move on. It's not your business who have what inside their body. Stop your dirty ways, man.
And only the government that is advocating.
You advocating something based on what is told to you, not based off your research. You have not done any research in this thing. Because if you have properly done research, you will realize that the very use of this word right there is questionable of what is being given, because it does not meet the criteria for that of which this is a product that stimulates a person's immune system to produce immunity, protection from infection disease. If you are immune to a disease, you can be exposed to it without becoming infected. So on which research you did to find out that, hey, let's give these people these things? Which research you did, buddy? Anyways, let's continue.
You see what I'm saying? There'll be a few additional exemptions.
Okay, no, this is I kind of skipped ahead a bit. But on the basis of what was the confusion, this is a bit of a clarification of it. I'm just gonna let it play.
Prime Minister, 7-day curfew.
Because I don't know what on earth, man, I tell you, the lawyers we coming forth to give people thing, and they themselves, they don't know what on earth they're reading. Anyways, let me let that run so you guys can get a clear understanding of it.
Was announced last week. Where are we at the moment?
Similar to deal with just that. So what you were allowed to do last week and what you were not allowed to do last week is the same thing you'll be allowed to do this week and the same thing you won't be allowed to do this week. You see what I'm saying? There'll be a few additional exemptions. From tomorrow to the 17th, there'll be, every one of us must stay inside from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. next day.
So that is it. So the 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. does not count. But on the basis of understanding something very important right there, guys, the president signed the emergency order, the SRO. Didn't the president sign the thing for the curfew lockdown? So if the president signed it, shouldn't that be taking effect based on what we actually read? 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. and 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is also another reason why we are stating that whatever was signed by the president was not written by the president. Himself probably did not even read it in itself for him to know exactly what he was signing. This is why a lot of people are stating that the president is not Dominica's president. It's the Prime Minister's president. Because look, the Prime Minister is then overriding what the president signed. He signed it, brothers and sisters. He signed it, which is what should go into practice. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying what the president signed was thing. What the Prime Minister is saying right now makes a little more sense. But when it comes down to the ruling, which means the president is above the prime minister, no, the prime minister is overriding the president. Shouldn't the president then amend what he was saying by deleting and then put the right thing into the thing? But we're not seeing anything like that. I haven't seen anything like this. Have you guys seen any new written signature for what is amended by deletion? Because what we were reading was from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. and then on Saturday, as soon as 6 p.m. reach for Friday, then lockdown happens till 5 a.m. on one day. So that means the whole 7 days was complete lockdown. But this is not what the Prime Minister is saying, which means the Prime Minister overrides the President of what is actually signed. So this is why a lot of people are saying that what the Prime Minister is doing, he's overriding the President, and the President is supposed to be above the Prime Minister. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
So from 6 p.m. tomorrow to
that's today.
5 a.m. on Tuesday, you have to stay indoors.
So it's night time, you have to stay indoors.
Okay, because you have no business outside.
And that runs until the 17th.
Well, the existing order comes to an end on Tuesday, the 10th. And then when they will be extending the curfew period.
So yes, to the 17th.
The emergency period from Tuesday the 10th to the 17th of August. We will allow activities for Saturday from 6 to 1 p.m.
So I think markets will then be open at that time. So 6 p.m. From 5 a.m. I think to 1 p.m. The market should be open around that time. Of course, they will speculate. They will give a little more specific details as time goes by.
And the curfew comes into effect at 3 o'clock in the afternoon until Monday
5 a.m.
So all what we did last time, you allow to do it.
So that completely puts the president, whatever the president signs, it completely puts the president, whatever he signs, null and void.
And so traveling to and from work as a service provider or essential worker, seeking urgent medical care, shopping for necessities, conducting a banking transaction, caring for a family member, pet or livestock, engaging in construction and manufacturing, traveling to and from the airport or seaport. Okay? So the village grocery shops can open, supermarket, mini-mart, and commercial bakery, petrol stations, pharmacies. All right? So all of these businesses are allowed to open so that we can seek services, or we can shop from these businesses.
Now guys, the kind of confusion that was happening last night kind of makes you wonder exactly what needed to be said. And this brother right there, he's a Calypsonian. He pretty much broke it down in about 25 seconds. This is what he said, the whole thing. They could just come up and say this very thing right there.
So, fellow Dominicans, sorry about the confusion. It's like confusion. It happens. But basically, we have...
It shouldn't happen like that, no, bro. I'm kind of chaos that was happening there.
We have extended the curfew until August 17th. And if you are not considered an essential worker, or you are not seeking essential services, stay at home, basically. Basically, there's no two free ways about it. Stay at home.
Simple. Simple.
You just stay at home.
Stay at home. If you're not going grocery shopping, because the grocery stores and those places that will be open, if you don't need essential services to keep you alive, stay at your home. That was all they needed to say. They didn't have to come and prepare a letter and all kind of thing, and they themselves read it and confusing their own self. Anyways, guys, let's get back into it.
I just wanted to know your views on, I've heard a few prime ministers spoken on the situation with Ralph Gonsalves, the attack on him in St. Vincent during the parliament. Any word on the situation with Ralph Gonsalves? Have you spoken to him?
I have. I mean, I condemn, as you know, unreservedly. Your right to protest doesn't mean that you have a right to cause harm to the Prime Minister of St. Vincent or any citizen of our countries, for that matter.
I agree. I definitely agree to that in terms of when it comes on to harming people. But when somebody is literally trying to force something on you and you don't want it and the person is not listening to you, they decide that is what they want, then sometimes push comes to shove. I'm not saying go and do harm to people, but you know, sometimes there's a saying that say who doesn't he will feel, and Gonsalves, he felt it too. He felt it. Anyways,
I mean, and the report from the doctors as articulated by the Prime Minister of St. Vincent again had this
right, well,
and then there are politicians here who are glorifying this thing.
So this is scary, trying to take another attack on the opposition. Them, he's saying they are glorifying these things. Did you guys see them glorifying? Did you see them glorifying anybody being beaten with stones or nothing like that? I didn't see it. Maybe you guys saw it. Let me know in the comment box below. You see, this is why the Prime Minister says certain things and a lot of people cannot really vouch for what he's saying, because he's just talking, I guess, to try to get some political points or try to bring other people down and try to maintain his status on a psychological level. Hey, I'm looking down on that person. Maybe everybody else should look down on that person because that person is not good.
I'm not condemning it. I mean, are we that uncivilized? Are we that desperate to be in power in opposition parties in the Caribbean that they believe that it's by violence that they can get into government? And there are some people, the usual fashion, oh, scared, don't watch it. When you call people out and you call boots on the ground, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, the protest is part of the action, you know, that is governed by the people when their leaders are not doing something that is right. Protest happens, and the people protest because something is wrong in what is taking place. That's why people tend to protest. Didn't you know that? This is why it's in the Constitution, the right to protest for right.
I must take out the government and so forth. What do you mean by that? Take out the government by the polls.
But sometimes you take out the government by the polls, but the government comes to do stealing of elections, bribery and cheating. Why didn't then you, Mr. Prime Minister, allow all you want to put it on Shuma? I don't say in Shuma that decide to just do. No, you probably petition to her, Tony Astafans them. They probably petition to her to try to they probably give her some favors or whatever, I don't know. And then she threw out the bribery and treating case. But if that is the case and there's ample evidence out there showing that there's treating going on, even individuals that you have given gifts stated that they should have get beaten earlier for them to get the house sooner rather than later. I mean, that is part of bribery. You're bribing individuals for you to do certain, for them to get favors from you. Isn't that what that is? And then you're talking about on the polls, when you actually utilizing the polls to your benefit of bringing money vai all over the place. Guys, look at the amount of money that was being sent, spread all over Dominica during elections. Is money spreading now? I mean, we good like that, not true? Is money spreading now? People don't see, isn't that bribery and treating? But you're talking about the polls, and you
by votes.
It's not by votes when you vote anything.
But when you come and check the government and come outside the parliament and go by Kerry resident and go there, what are you talking about?
It has to happen, because if it doesn't hear, they need to go and tell you. If you probably don't hear, so they have to go and tell you.
Yes, I'm tempted again to ask you a last one about mechanic shops. If they are closed, why should people be allowed to buy spare parts? I think that came up a little earlier in our discussion.
I mean, my brother, it's nothing wrong with a vehicle. Spare parts really, a battery, something basic that your vehicle, so it's either up. See, if you realize last week, that was not on. You understand? That was not on. But we look practical and so forth. So, but we can't keep giving exemption. If you keep giving exemption, then it's better that I advise the executive president to terminate the emergency powers.
But it doesn't make sense. He terminated because it already terminated. Whatever he's saying is not applicable to today. So that's is another thing right there. But on the basis that you're telling individuals that they can go out and get stuff, but they can go out and get stuff with shop, the places that they need to get this stuff is closed. Shouldn't you then allow these places to be open so they can get the spare parts and stuff for the vehicles? What if a bus driver is going up and down and he needs something from the store and he cannot get it? That will then hinder his business from functioning properly. So you need to get this spare part to put in his bus for him to organize himself. But if you close down the store and you tell people they can go out and get spare parts, yet the spare parts stores are closed, I mean, that's kind of contradictory though. And you're talking about making exception. Well, tell the people that going out there to get spare parts, tell them they cannot get spare parts now. Or if the people that going out there to get spare parts, tell these spare parts store to open. You're trying to have some kind of blockage thing that going on nowhere. Anyways, let's continue.
Personal. Those who already contracted the virus, we cannot uncontract you. But what you have to do is to go and get tested. And those of us who have been vaccinated.
Ooh. I hope YouTube don't give me nothing, no problem, YouTube troublesome already, Anyways, the Prime Minister said something very important, and I agree with it.
Contracted the virus. Those who already contracted the virus, we cannot uncontract it.
If you already contracted it, you cannot uncontract it. If you take something that is experimental in your body, I said it some time back, one of the governors in Washington stated that you can take out your masks. You go to work, you have your mask on whole day and everything like that. Then when you reach home, you can take out your mask. But just like this thing, if you contract this thing, the Rona, you cannot take it out of your body. But you can get better with your natural immune system kicking in. However, if you decide to put something experimental in your body And it's very clear that the same thing happens for, let me just get it. The same thing happens for individuals. The same exact thing happens to both vax and unvaxxed individuals. What is the point of getting it in the first place? What is the point? And we keep calling it vax. It's not vax. It is something else. You can both get it. You can both contract it. You can both be hospitalized from it. You can both die from it. You can both remain completely healthy and have no issues at all with it. But yet, both seems to be at... Oh boy, I tell you, boy. And the Prime Minister is pushing this thing, trying to tell people to go and take it. But going and take it doesn't make any difference, and we don't even know if you actually took it. That's the thing about being in the political arena, you know. You are protected from knowing different information, because using in the sphere of things, we don't even know if you actually took this or not. You're telling people to go and take it. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts on the whole situation right there, man? This is pretty much all about us for this year reaction video. It was very long. I didn't know it was going to be that long, but it is what it is. I hope you guys and watch the full thing. If you reach the end of this video, guys, type in the chat no to vax. That's what you have to type in the comment box. Type no to vax in the comment box if you reach the end of this video. And this is pretty much all you have, guys. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come visible. Mystelics once again, guys. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video.